Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
To say we have an icon on with us for the balance of the hour today is putting it lightly. He's Ed Asner, a longtime head of the Screen Actors Guild. He, of course, is one of the biggest television stars in history with the Mary Tyler Moore Show and its spinoff, Lou Grant. He also is one of the main voices in my favorite animated film, Pixar's award-winning animated feature Up, which is 100% wholesome. In fact, when I saw it, I was like, wow, no anti-family, anti-liberty, globalist messages in this. And, of course, he's also working and returning to television as Butcher Hank Greziak, I think I'm pronouncing it, in Working Class, the first original sitcom on cable channel CMT. And there's no way to really go over all of the long bio of Edward Asner, known as Ed Asner, but he is with us today. He's also very eclectic. You know, the media tries to put him in this box of, just a Hollywood liberal. Well, you know, we're outside the box here. It's not about liberal or conservative. It's about right and wrong. And he knows about the population control program. He's been here and talked about it. He's been fighting and speaking out against the dangers of many vaccines. And, of course, he has the courage for many years to talk about 9/11 truth, and he's now put out an amazing little 15-minute piece that we've got linked at Infowars.com with architects and engineers for 9/11 truth, where he talks about the 1,500-plus architects and engineers and the fact that no modern steel building has ever collapsed like they did until the day of 9/11, looking at Building 7. So he joins us here in the next 50 minutes. Mr. Asner, great to have you.
Thank you, Alex. It's a pleasure to be back with you.
You know, we were talking right before you went live, and I said, what do you want to get into first? I threw out a few issues. You said, Alex, you're so eclectic, you just lead. But that's really the same thing I'd say to you. They try to put me in a box. They try to put you in a box. Out of the gates, who is Ed Asner? What have you always really stood for?
Socialism.
Okay, so break that down for us.
Well, we are in such a confused state in this country right now, with the Tea Party leading the Republican intransigence, fighting Obama on anything. They can't tax the rich, that type of crap. If we were back to the taxes of Eisenhower, this country would be in so much better shape. I wonder if all those Republicans out there can remember that. And if we don't start taxing the rich and trying to make up some of this deficit, then we're fools.
Elaborate on that.
Elaborate?
Sure.
Any approach on taxes that you find is that the rich have gotten more and more leniency in terms of acts in Congress, of soft peddling. The offshore companies are not lambasted at all. They have not made any effort at taxing offshore companies to any extent. Their single drive is to cut entitlements, cut your Medicare, cut your Medi-Cal, whatever that may be, to even invade Social Security if they had the guts to, but or they had enough of an audience. It's taking it from the middle class and the poor, and that's how they hope to balance. They want to, as Grover Nordquist, that phenomenal dragon who heads the anti-tax groups in this country, said he wants to reduce government so it's on its knees, so it's starving. Well, I believe in big government as long as it is not corrupt, as long as the people keep it from being delivering and creating jobs and creating education and, in the present instance, creating health. And 47 million people in this country are now classified as poor or living less than poor. 47 million out of 300 million. That's a shocking, terrible statistic. And if that's what capitalism gives us, then to hell with it.
Now, Ed, again, I admire you because you have exposed the dangers of vaccines and the fact that these companies are given immunity. You have exposed globalist population reduction programs. You have exposed the inside job that's 9/11. You have a lot of courage. You definitely are a smart guy, obviously, and you believe in what you're saying. But navigating this ice flow, in the good ship USS Republic, look, I understand that if men were angels and our better selves were helping share the wealth and knowledge, that does make society better. I understand that in its purest idea, the idea of socialism would be good. But here's the problem. The crony capitalist, who are not free market, they actually will lobby for big government programs because they can control and lobby government and end up giving themselves the money and use it to shut down their competition and then exempt themselves. Take General Electric, the head of the President's Council, their former head, taking the jobs to China and other places while trying to put regulations in that shut down our jobs. Or take all the other corporate welfare. See, that's my issue, is that these social systems, look at the Soviet Union. Look at any of these other examples. It's just, we trade out one group of criminals, and then even if you have well many people up front, they always get thrown out, and a new group of crooks come in. So that's why I believe in local control and then diversity of control, because then you can find a town or a county or a city or a state that is more to your liking, and I just don't see socialism ever working. Now, I don't want to digress into this whole debate. You're certainly correct that right now we have all that socialism for the rich. They take our money, our labor, our infrastructure, amass it. They make themselves exempt. The middle class pays high taxes, but most of the Fortune 100 are 100% exempt, as you know. My issue is then when I hear about a new tax plan, it's not to tax Google or General Electric. It's to tax, the guy down the street making $125,000 a year. Now that's a mouthful, Mr. Asner, but what's your view on it?
Well, my view is that because of a clerk's reading, a Supreme Court clerk's reading in the 1880-something, corporations have been regarded as individuals, and they have gotten a free ride ever since. It's only because of that court clerk's ruling, and all justice has been delivered in terms of viewing corporations in that light. We've got to reach a point where the Supreme Court says the corporations are an individual and they can contribute to political campaigns, and it's regarded as free speech. Well, no one man or group of men can compete with what a corporation can contribute to a campaign, to a candidate.
And corporations live forever and are exempt from the rules. That they have more rights than an individual.
Founding fathers, there were some of the founding fathers who even spoke of beware, fight the corporations. They were troubled by the power of corporations and wanted to limit them. And it's been a losing battle ever since. We are now at the worst stage of this corporate licentiousness, this corporate freedom.
Corporate fascism.
Yes, exactly. And I would say that the majority of our wars are, Smedley Butler put it best about all of his campaigns in Central America and South America, and the fact that he did it for this bank or that corporation or this one. We've been fighting the corporations ever since, and when will this country and its so-called representatives wake up to realize that the socialism I talk about is a control on obscene profits, a fair tax on profits, and we would not be in the mess we're in now. And above all, Eisenhower's warning about the military-industrial complex certainly didn't last long, did it? Look at the wars we're engaged in. Look at the oil companies that we are enslaved to.
My only issue is that the politicians of the two-party dictatorship, the two twins, are bought and paid for by these interests, and so no matter what you try to do through the government, it only gives them more power.
Exactly.
And so that's my issue. Is it's almost like the Ring of Mordor, and that's how I see socialism. Yes, there's been philosopher kings that actually spent the largesse and created education and created civilizations. But those are rare, and they almost always, hand over power to someone worse than them and then worse than them. And so it's like the Ring of Mordor. I mean, Ed, you know that ring, and they offer it to Gandalf, and he says, no, I'd try to use this for good, and it would only be turned to evil. Don't fire me, Lou. Oh, don't be mad at me, Lou. You know who that is, right, Ted Knight?
Yeah, of course.
Not a very good imitation.
Yeah, well, not bad, I must say.
No.
You can only get the duck's ass that he used while he was doing all that. Nailed down pat.
Thank you, Lou. I had to do that, sorry. That's Ted Knight, folks, another actor I absolutely admire for their skills. Oh, God. Ed Asner's our guest. We're going to come back, get into things we do completely agree on. And again, I see Ed's view. I just don't ever see it being practical because of the nature of men. Let's get into 9/11 truth, vaccines, and a lot more. You don't need me to tell you that humanity is in a deep crisis. Everyone can feel it. We know a tectonic struggle is now taking place between the forces of freedom and those who love darkness, bondage, and enslavement. Yes, my friends, evil is rising. But take heart. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Recently, New World Order operative Hillary Clinton admitted they're losing the info war.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
The globalists are scared. They've overreached. The future of the info war is in your hands. Join PrisonPlanet.tv. Download the thousands of special video reports, ebooks, and more, and get them out to everyone you know. Continue to spread the word about the broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and every other globalist propaganda platform. We are going to use their system against them. The info war now goes into high gear.